Okay, good people, welcome back to LockerTalk podcast as we now ready to talk about the undrafted matchups for week 8. Here we go, let's get right into it. And we're going to start with this matchup with the Cleveland Browns going up against the Seattle Seahawks. In this matchup, we're going to look at P.J. Walker, undrafted quarterback. Last week, he was able to pass for 178 yards last week. This young man is really showing out, taking what is given, knowing that situation there with Deshaun Watson. We don't know if Deshaun's going to play. You know, he's battling with a shoulder injury. But for this young man to show that his shoulder be ready at all times on the field really shows how much of a mature quarterback that he is and how the Browns look at him and recognize that his development in the NFL ever since he came from the XFL. So to see PJ walk out there in the field doing the thing for the Browns, keeping them consistent, managing the game appropriately, that's what you want for your quarterback, to go in there to make sure that they do their job while the defense, as dominant as the Browns is, they had the team to come out and win and pull off some big wins. So that's what the Cleveland Browns is doing with P.J. Walker. And on the other side of the ball, Jake Bobo, wide receiver from UCLA, undrafted, had a career high of 61 receiving yards last week and his second career touchdown with this amazing catch of having both of his feet in bounds, as it was ruled as an incomplete, and then it was reviewed and to see that the challenge was won. Clearly, he did get those toes right down inside the end zone. Man, that was remarkable. That was a great play. Looking forward to seeing how Pete Carroll is going to use this man for the rest of the season. Another matchup to watch out for is the New England Patriots going up against the Miami Dolphins. In the last matchup, you know, we know for a fact that when he actually had himself a fantastic game. He actually went off on those guys out there on the field. It was amazing the way how he played. Let's look at what Mostert has been doing all season. This young man has been straight up killing it. He had 50+ scrimmage yards in the last 6 of 7 games that he played this year, and he also have a touchdown in 5 of the last 7 games that he played. He has 351 scrimmage yards, averaging 117.3 per game, and 8 touchdowns, and 6 of those are on the ground in 3 home games this season. Now in week 2 against these New England Patriots, he had 121 yards and 2 touchdowns against this team, and now he's looking for his 3rd in a row against the Patriots of having 90+ scrimmage yards and another touchdown. He actually leads the NFL in total touchdowns with 9. So this undrafted player is really showing, I would say, high quality draft stock on the field. And on the other side of the ball, Kendrick Bourne is having himself a quiet, good season. He had himself another touchdown last week, making his 3rd in the season. What he's looking to do now for the 3rd time in a row is having at least 6+ catches and 60 receiving yards. So definitely keep your eyes out for what Bourne is going to do for the Patriots, as the Patriots looking to bounce back to be relevant in their division for the 2023 season. Moving on to the New Orleans Saints and the Indianapolis Colts. Now, last week, Taysom Hill had his first rushing touchdown of the season, giving him 24 rushing touchdowns for his career. Now he's looking for his 3rd in a row in games this year of having 50+ scrimmage yards. And the last time that he played against the Colts, he did have a touchdown, a receiving touchdown against these very Indianapolis Colts. And last week, Kenny Moore, did not say his name all season long, had his best game of the season last week when he had a career high of 10 tackles and a sack. He also had a career high in tackles for loss with 3. Now he's looking to have his 5th in a row of having at least 6 tackles in a game, and also having a 3rd in a row with 3 of these tackles for loss. He's definitely one of those better corners in the league that can make those open field tackles, and also have a real good niche in getting behind the backfield. So definitely watch out for what Kenny Moore for Indianapolis Colts, what he's going to do this week. And then our other other matchup to watch out for is the Houston Texans going up against the Carolina Panthers. And this matchup is going to be pretty much watching what the Carolina Panthers are going to do. Adam Thielen having himself a phenomenal season, first time there in the Carolina's uniform, and this is what he was doing. He actually had 11 receptions for 115 yards and a touchdown in week 6. That was his best game so far. For his career, out of 24 games, he had over 100 receiving yards, third most amongst undrafted players since 1967, and 8th career game with 10 plus catches, tying second most by undrafted players in the common draft era. He also had a receiving touchdown 4 out of the past 5 games, and now he's aiming for his 3rd in a row of having a touchdown catch. He's also looking at his 3rd in a row versus the Houston Texans of having at least 100 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown. So definitely keep your eye out for number 19 as he's doing things this year for the Carolina Panthers. And also on the defense side of the ball, Troy Hill, giving him his 3rd time in his career of having a pick 6 and his 4th career defensive touchdown. Now, as far as matchups, we just went through matchups. But for the rest of this week 8 preview with undrafted players, instead of being matchups, there's some players we're going to have you guys to look out for this week to see what kind of performance they are going to have on the field. Like Allen Lazard. 3 out of the last 4 games he has played, he had 3 catches in each game. This is what something that he want to have continue on as the Jets continue to try to be relevant in their division in the AFC East. And he also had a touchdown pass in both of the games that he had against the New York Giants. So let's look to see what Allen Lazard can continue to do for the Jets. And then Bryce Huff, who's been a quiet storm for the Jets as he led the team for a season best of 1.5 sacks in week 6. Now he's looking for his 3rd in a row in a game of having a sack. And Tony Adams had a big time interception in the game against the Philadelphia Eagles, and he had a career high of 7 tackles in that very game, and also 1 for a loss. Now we're going to see this momentum can carry on as he has now this season had 5 plus tackles in each of his games that he played this season. So let's see if he's going to carry it on or being a main stop, for being one of the big time stops there for this vaunted defense that the Jets have. And then we're going to look at the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, Gus Edwards, running back, played a huge role. Nobody really talked about Gus Edwards in that big win they had against the Detroit Lions. In that game, he led the team for a career high of 144 scrimmage yards, a career high with 80 reception yards and 64 yards on the ground. He rushed for a touchdown, and he also had his longest reception of his career. Matter of fact, the longest reception in the NFL, in the entire NFL, with that 80-yard reception that he had. So far, a running back from Baltimore, had the biggest or longest catch of the season. Let's see if he can hold on to that 80-yard reception that he had, and let's see if he can carry it out for the rest of the season. But most importantly in Baltimore, as long as they get the win, and as long as Lamar Jackson not running as much, that's the only thing that the Baltimore Ravens is worried about. Okay, so keep your eyes on Buster Gus for the Baltimore Ravens as they go up against the 1-6 Arizona Cardinals, and with the Denver Broncos. We know about Jamel McLaurin, their rookie running back. He actually ranked 2nd amongst rookie running backs for that matter, with 3 touchdowns, 2 in the air and 1 on the ground. And he's also 4th amongst rookies with scrimmage yards totaling 294. And the linebackers, Alex Singleton has been unstoppable this year, having a team high of 11 tackles and 1 for a loss last week. Now he's aiming for his 6th game in a row of having 10 plus tackles. And PJ Locke, safety for these Broncos, had his first career interception last week. Let's see if they can carry on against these Kansas City Chiefs. And San Francisco 49ers, Charvarius Ward, he had his 2nd interception of the season when they played against the Minnesota Vikings. And he also had 7 pass defenses in 7 of the games he played this season. And then we roll over to Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, their undrafted quarterback, Tyson Badger, made his debut last week. He completed 21 out of 29 attempts, having a completion of 72.4 with 162 yards passing and a touchdown with no interception, having a quarterback rating of 97.2 for his first start last week. Chances are he may be on the field again as they go against the Los Angeles Chargers for his second start. Let's see what he's going to do. His completion percentage, however, is the third most among undrafted rookie quarterbacks in his first start in the common draft era. So he made history already. Let's see if he continue to make big history for the Chicago Bears and league-wide. And now, for the last one, let's see what Jacoby Myers, where he's had himself a solid season for the Las Vegas Raiders, to see if he can carry it on against this, I would say, really pissed off Detroit Lions team after what happened when they came to Baltimore. Keep your eyes out for him, because they definitely going to need him to be able to come in and make some big plays for them. He's aiming for his fourth in a row of having at least 5 plus catches, and 50 plus receiving yards and a touchdown. He had 7 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown in his only game against the Detroit Lions when he was a member of the New England Patriots last year when they faced the Detroit Lions on October the 9th. Now he's aiming for his 3rd in a row on Monday Night Football of having himself a touchdown catch. Folks, that was the breakdown for Week 8 for undrafted talents. Make sure you guys stay locked in. Find out what these guys did last week, especially the exciting highlight reel that we always come up with, the undrafted files. Everyone stay blessed out there. Make sure you guys happy hunter and also support these undrafted players, because they doing it big in the National Football League. Let's get it. All right.